Yep, Independence is a Vibe. I'm Travis.
And I'm Chris.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And don't forget to catch us on Instagram and on YouTube at Independence is a Vibe, because you know that it is.
Yes, sir.
And so as always, y'all know we got some type of topic for you, because it's a podcast and you got to have a topic.
Yep.
And today's topic is, what steps do we take in order to feel better? Now, before we open up the door and go full force on this one, we was talking about this topic off camera, and I realized like you could approach it from a couple of different angles.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna touch on a myriad of things, you know, and we're gonna let it go from there. So I'll start off. The topic, you know, when you say what steps do we take to feel better, we could approach this from a physical aspect of like, you know, what steps do we take in order to feel better. Me myself, sometimes I tend to have headaches, and I know, you know, my triggers and things like that. And I know people say, well, don't speak that on yourself and things like that, but it's part of being human. You're going to have aches and pains. You know what I'm saying? So what I notice with me is sometimes I'll wake up and I could be just woke up in the morning and my head is pounding.
Yeah.
That could be from a number of things. It could be that I didn't sleep good enough. And if I haven't slept good enough in a couple of days, then yeah, headache is a very high possibility. Another thing is, if I hadn't eaten enough or hadn't eaten the right things, you know, you eat too much salt or, you know, too much butter or something like that, that causes headaches. If it's too hot, which y'all know, if y'all live where we live in Louisiana, it's been hot. You know what I'm saying?
400 degrees, huh?
Yeah, man. Chickens be flying on the sidewalk with their feathers on. I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah, it been hot, you know, so.
The soles of your shoes start melting as soon as you hit the ground.
For real. You know, so if it's too hot, my head start hurting, you know what I'm saying? So, for me to feel better, number one is to not feel bad.
Right.
And the way that I avoid feeling bad would be to make sure I get enough sleep, make sure I eat enough, make sure I eat the right things, you know what I'm saying? And stay out the heat. And if I gotta be in the heat, then what I typically do is I take some over-the-counter medicine for like migraines. I take, you know, 2 pills, and I make sure that I'm drinking, you know, plenty water, and I get in the shade a lot if I gotta be, you know, in the heat. Another thing too is when the seasons change over, or when like the weather switches up on me.
Yeah.
That causes sinus pressure headaches for me. So what I do? Oh yeah, that's the
worst.
That stuff feel bad, man. I be thinking Mike Tyson walked in my room and punched me in the head. I'm like, bro, what? You know. So what I do is, again, I stock up on headache medicines. I'll buy Flonase, you know, and I'll do all of that before the season start to change over. So as soon as I'm, you know, looking at the news or looking at the calendar and it's talking about, oh, fall is coming, you know, spring is coming, da 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 da.
Yeah.
I'll have the medicine on hand, and when they get here, you know, as far as the season, I just kind of pay attention to my body, because if you don't pay attention to yourself, you'll miss your body telling you, hey, I need you to, you know, get on your A game because we finna change. See what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't miss the cues. So that's what I, you know, tend to do as far as physically feeling better. You know, now mentally feeling better, that's another type of animal right there. Because they do have medication for, you know, for to help you feel better mentally. But my thing is, like, I don't want to be hooked on something in order for me to function correctly. You know, and I'm not saying it is bad if anybody watch this and they're like, well, I take antidepressant medicine. Oh, okay, well, do you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not, you know, and we not medical professionals or nothing like that. So,
right.
But I'm saying it's some simple steps you can take to check in on you. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to your thought patterns. You know, what have you been thinking about lately that you don't normally think about? You know, I know that's kind of oxymoronic to be, you know, think about what you're thinking about. It sounds funny, but that helped me too. I read that in a book or I seen it in like a YouTube video or something. Where the guy was saying, he was like, think about what you're thinking about. Because you should know if you have these kind of thoughts on a regular basis, or is this something that just came out the blue?
Yeah.
You know, you should know you enough to where you know how you think. You know what I'm saying? So if you are thinking things that are harmful, and it, you know, it puts you in a state of depression, you start facing anxiety and stuff like that, pay attention to that stuff. And, you know, go see your doctor. My favorite thing to do is stay in prayer. You know what I'm saying?
It's always a good one.
Yeah, stay in prayer. You know? That's just like going to the car manufacturer when you got a problem with your car. Y'all built it. Y'all know how to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, so God made us, so go to Him. You know? And there's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist, you know what I'm saying? And if they tell you take certain medications, take them. Because the end result is a better you. That's what we all trying to get to.
Yeah, I think it's always a good thing to do a deep dive into, you know, finding out what's making you feel the way you feel. You know, you know. I know for me, you know, when I feel like I'm just, you know, need to get away, you know, I just take a trip. You know, change the scenery sometimes. That always, you know, helps.
Yes, sir.
Or go and sit by some water. I know for me that helps a lot.
Yeah, I like to take walks. Now, not currently because it's too hot. I'll fry like a piece of bacon out there, but when
crispy.
Yeah.
Extra crispy, huh?
For real. for real. You know, but once the heat kind of calms down, you know, maybe around September.
Yeah.
Then I can get back to walking and stuff like that. Because I learned through the years that like exercise is not just healthy for your body, it's healthy for your mind too. And your mind and your body gotta work together.
Yeah, going to the gym is always a good stress reliever. You know, you lifting weights, some heavy weights, and it's just, you know, you just taking your frustration out on you know, on the bench pressing them weights.
Yeah, because you got to see when you working out, you got to focus on so many different things that you don't really have time to think about what's giving you anxiety or what's giving you depression. Like you don't have time because you got to keep the count in your head. You got to make sure you're doing the right form with them push-ups. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Making sure you hit the right amount of push-ups. You're also paying attention to your body where the workout is activating different muscles. So you got to pay attention to how you feel, you know, physically. So I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they recommend exercise.
Yeah.
You know, and I would even just to throw a third little point to this topic, right? Not just checking on how you feel mentally or physically, but even like your emotions, right? And I know everybody's different. Some people are just very, very happy people. That's just how they are. And some people, you know, they not sad and depressed people, but they okay being by themselves. They real quiet. They always by themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how they are.
Right.
But again, you got to pay attention to you, because if you are overly sad all the time now, then something may be wrong. You know. On the other hand, if you feel like you're more angry than normal, right? Like the slightest little thing sets you off and you at 1,000, something might be wrong.
Yeah.
You know. So again, you know, talk to God and go see your doctor. You know.
Yeah, it's always good, you know, to, you know, take some accountability as to what it is that's causing you that stress, you know. A lot of times these days it can be your job.
Yep.
And sometimes people might be like, man, I can't just walk away from my job.
No, but that's why jobs have off days.
Yeah.
And that's also why you're not supposed to live in the workspace.
Yeah. So if they got PTO,
then they better prepare the others.
I'm preparing y'all for them days I'm gonna take off.
For real. Because you gotta take a break. You can't just work yourself to death.
Burnout is not good.
You're not a machine.
Right.
You know, sometimes I wish I was. But we not a machine. We're not built for that.
Yeah.
You know. And I would even say this, like you work better when you get that break. You do, because your mental is better, your physical is better. You know what I'm saying? That's why getting the right amount of sleep is so important.
That too.
because it recharges your body and your mind, you know. And it's things that you can do even while you're awake to kind of keep your mind in a refreshed kind of state, so you're not so on edge.
Yeah.
You know, but you definitely want to, you know, pay attention to you. That's the first thing to do to start to feeling better. You know, physically, mentally, emotionally. That's the first thing you can do is pay attention to yourself. I would also say, like, another thing would be when you realize that something is off with you, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You might not go to your doctor, but you got at least one friend or one family member.
Yeah.
And you need to let them know, like, something ain't right with me, man.
It's always good to have a person or people, you know, around you that you feel that you can trust with, you know, how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I was breaking this down in steps, I guess my last step, because I like for stuff to be simple, which means less steps. My last step is, if you go see a professional, then just follow the rules. If they say take this medicine once a day, then take the medicine once a day. If they say stop doing certain things, then stop doing certain things.
Yeah.
You know, now of course, you got to be careful because people have been known to get people hooked on things just to get more money out of them.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, it kind of come with the territory. There is no full 100% answer.
Yeah.
You know, again, other than to me is just to pray. You know, check in with the Maker every day. You know.
I say prayer is the full, ultimate answer right there.
Right. Because like I said, He made us, so He already know.
Right.
You know what's going on.
Just like you said, going back to the manufacturer, huh?
Yep. Got to.
Right.
You got to. You know what I'm saying? Because feeling better, you know, seeing a better version of yourself. Nobody should hate who they see when they look in the mirror. You shouldn't hate what you see when you look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like I'm too big when I look in the mirror, well, it may be time to check in with your doctor and see what's up. Why can't I get this weight off?
Yeah.
Well, I'm too small when I look in the mirror. Well, okay, again, go talk to a dietitian, a nutritionist. Go talk to your doctor. You know, the thing is, you got to be happy with you.
I feel like there's always ways to change things that, you know, you aren't happy about.
Most
You
definitely.
can always change it.
Yeah. You know, and that's what makes life good. To realize, like, I am in control of whatever it is that I feel like I'm going through. You know, and that's where things like social media and networking is actually good, because you can see that you're not the only one trying to lose weight, or you're not the only one trying to gain weight. You know, you're not the only one trying to make another stream of income.
Right.
You know, you're not the only one that's trying to start a business or trying to go back to school, or, you know, you're not the only one trying to raise your kids right. You know, you're not by yourself.
Right.
You know, because that helps you mentally. You might feel like you're by yourself, but then you know, hey, this person on Instagram doing the same thing that I'm doing. I just didn't know they was doing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for them, you know.
It's always good to see somebody who's doing something that you aspire to do. You know, give you motivation.
Right. You know, and that's what you want. You ain't supposed to lose yourself in social media, but it can be helpful if you use it the right way.
Like for us, you know, I feel like it's good to see people with disabilities doing big things, you know.
Oh, yeah. Man, I saw people with cerebral palsy, and they was doing, like, deadlifting 200 and 300 pounds, and they wasn't losing their balance. They wasn't struggling.
Yeah.
I was like, that's possible?
I saw a dude doing push-ups in his wheelchair.
And I've seen that too.
Like he was still like strapped into his chair, and he was doing push-ups.
Man, I saw that too.
Man,
I seen a guy in the wheelchair with the wheelchair was strapped to him, and he was rock climbing.
Yeah.
I said, man, look at. Like I said, man, that's possible. What?
That takes some great strength.
You know, and that's just it, man. Like I said, social media is a tool. It was never supposed to be about, you know, you just scrolling mindlessly just for hours, just scrolling it. It wasn't supposed to be for that. originally social media was supposed to be for keeping in touch with people.
Yeah.
And then business people hopped on it and saw it as an advertising thing because so many people was flocking to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then other people saw it as, if I make the right content, I could get followers, and then them followers would give me money. So they just started making all kind of content.
Yep.
And that's what people got to scrolling mindlessly because they always looking for something new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a fan of it. I stay off of it for real.
I think social media is good, but I use it for knowledge.
Yeah. That's why I say it's good, but then see it come down to each individual person.
Yeah.
Some people that I know, like, they'll scroll social media for 30 minutes to an hour before they go to bed. And I'm like, what are you looking for? Why? Cause I see you scrolling. What you? I just be looking for stuff to make me laugh before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm funny looking. Roll over and look at me. No, I'm just playing. But no, I'm just kidding. Y'all know I'm goofy. But you know, it's like Trevor said, it's good for information.
Yeah, for information. That's what I use it for.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, don't get stuck in it though. You know, it's good for networking. It's good for inspiration. You know.
Yeah. I mean, without social media, you know, I wouldn't know about people in wheelchairs that's business owners and,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, doing all kind of traveling overseas and stuff like that. You know,
Right.
I wouldn't have known that.
Right. And see, it's expanding your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But again, that comes down to like the individual person.
Yeah.
Some people want to better every situation that they in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to drop some pounds so I can get my abs.
Yeah.
Right? That ain't gonna happen unless I eat right. The exercising ain't the problem, but we're gonna let that go.
It starts in the kitchen.
For real. Some people, you know, they want to improve their finances. They want passive and residual income.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are good working a job and coming home every day. You know, it's all in what that person wants. And for me, personally, I just want the best version of me that I can get to.
Mm-hmm.
I want whatever it is that God has for me. You know, I want it. And that's it.
Yep.
So whatever it takes for me to get to the best version of me, then that's what I'm on the planet for. Because while I'm figuring that out, I'll be able to help some people along the way. You know, and so somebody told me real simple. It was like, hey, if you can talk, you can teach.
That's it.
I said, what? And he said it again. He was like, you ain't listening. If you can talk, you can teach.
Right.
I said, man, I don't want to work with no kids. He was like, man, if you can talk, you can teach. You can teach kids, adults. It don't matter. You can teach.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. You know, but I get it. You know, but you can't teach nobody if you don't know anything.
Right.
But you can learn, you know, by just living your normal life. You learn what to do, what not to do. You know.
I think everybody has some kind of skill they can offer.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Know, you just gotta tap into it.
Yep. And I think we should be learning something daily.
Yeah.
Even if you learn something by accident, you still learn something.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I mean, yeah, your brain is the best computer in the world. You know, but you got to take care of your body and your brain because they both need each other.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you gotta take care of the parts of you that you can't see, like your emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't see your emotions, but you have to take care of those things.
Yeah, you gotta be in tune with your body.
Yep.
You are your most important person.
Exactly. So yeah, man, I you know, hey, you know, if you're not feeling like yourself, it's time to start taking that serious.
Mm-hmm.
And the first way to get better, to get to that best version of yourself, is to check in on you. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because when it's just you, you're going to tell the truth. Nah, I'm not okay. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, go get yourself checked out. People say, well, I can't afford the insurance. I can't afford a doctor. Okay, well, if you're not having no physical problems, but you know something is off in your emotions, you got a friend, you got family members, you got that coworker, somebody, and talk to them, let them know.
Yep.
Something is up. I need some help. You know, it's okay.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head.
But yeah, man, that's it. You gotta take care of you.
Yep. There's always hope. Always, a way out of whatever, any situation.
Most definitely.
Yeah, this was a good topic, man.
You got anything else you want to add, or you good?
I mean, just, stay focused, like I said, if you feel off, get somebody that you can trust. Take a trip, take a walk, like Chris said. Go sit by some water and pray.
That take a trip idea sound real good to me.
It ain't gotta be nothing extravagant, you know what I'm saying? Just a trip. It can be to a different city, it don't matter.
Yeah, that's true too.
But yeah, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And please don't forget to catch us on YouTube and on Instagram at Independence is a Vibe, because you know that it is.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back next week with another video.
Stay tuned.
And we out.
Peace.